Alright, now I apologize that I haven't been too insightful in some respects in terms of hero builds and choices like that, but there's just been so much action, it's been hard to keep up. So I'm paused now because I want to take a bit of a break to check the creep stats, since we're at the 20-minute mark and just about 30 seconds. Morphling's moved himself up to 124, which is fantastic. He's at just 100 is a great score for the 20-minute mark. He's at 124, so that's great for him. Slardar's at 60, which is not that great, and Furion's at 30. So other than the Morphling, not too much creep stats going on for the Sentinel team. Over on the Scourge side of things, they have a very even spread, which is a bit unusual. The Lucifer's at 73, the Stormseer's at 62, the Darkseer's at 59, Venomancer's at 47, and the Crystal Maiden's back at 14. So despite the fact that if you added it up, the Scourge team probably has more creep kills overall, all added together. However, the fact that even though Sentinel has less, the fact that they're all on the backs of this Morphling is very important for their team. And just talk about items real quick. So Furion opted for the Urn of Shadows, and he probably has a million charges on that thing by now, the way this game's been going. And he's working towards a Orc Malevolence, although it'll probably take him forever to finish that. At the rate of 30 creep kills per 20 minutes, he might not even ever finish it. The Witch Doctor's content to sit at his treads and magic wand as a support hero. The Morphling has his ultimate orb and his Yasha, so he is just inches away from finishing up his Manta. We can look to see him pop his Manta in the next team fight. Slardar got his Blink Dagger ages ago, but we haven't seen him really use it to great effect, I don't think. We'll see if he can pull off some fantastic initiation with it later. And the what's-her-face, Vengeful Spirit, just content with her boots and her magic wand. Venomancer's picked up a Vanguard edition with his magic wand, and he's working on his treads. So he's also a support hero, but a bit tankier because he probably wants to ensure that he lives long enough to pop out his ultimate, because he has a very powerful ultimate. Stormseer has his Perseverance, so no doubt working towards the Lincolns. The Darkseer has a Vanguard and Helm of Iron Will. I'm really not certain what the Helm of Iron Will will go into. I would think a hood, but perhaps not. So the Lucifer, he's picked up an Ultimate Orb, which totally kicked my ass. I assumed he would be going for the Radiance. But last I checked, you don't need an Ultimate Orb to make a Radiance. Maybe it's hard to say. After I made one mistake, I'm not even going to try and guess what he's going to use that for, because it could be a few different things, so we'll see. And the Crystal Maiden is poor. Poor. Alright, sorry for that break, and back to the action we go. And not much action, actually. I probably should have just left it on pause, because there is a bit of a lull at the moment. So Slardar has the Ring of Basilius, which is great for pushing. It's always handy to have someone on your team packing a Ring of Basilius, or Vlad's, or Saltgrass when you're trying to push it, because it really gives your creeps tons of extra life. And the longer your creeps live, the longer you can smack the tower, because when you run out of creeps, it gets a lot harder to push. Lucifer's farming up bottom. Meanwhile, Furion is farming up the woods. Darkseer's farming mid. And Venomancer's farming their woods. So at the moment, Sentinel not doing as much farming as the Scourge. They really need to deploy themselves a bit better than they are. Looks like they have a bit of a gank train farming that. Witch Doctor's at the head of the gank train. So all 5 of them are in their own woods, which is sort of very defensive. I don't know if they're hoping to catch someone here or not, but now we have Scourge team moving towards their Lucifer. It looks like there might be a 5-on-5 clash in the woods. Could be very interesting. Actually, Scourge looks like they're going for the Rosh. And we'll see if Sentinel sniffs them out. I don't see a ward for Sentinel, but Furion has his own brand of ward. The tree brand ward. Lucifer eats it. Golden. But a team battle shaping up, no doubt. Witch Doctor pops his tasks early, not very effective. Darkseer uses his vacuum and his ult. Venomancer gets his ult off. Lucifer is doomed the Witch Doctor, I think. Or has he yet? Scourge has picked up 2 kills. Revenge is going down. Scourge Hero is all pretty high health. Slardar going down to the Storm Spirit, and oh no, Just Morphling, 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 Morphling. Down goes the Morphling. And you know what I think that was? I think that was all 5 Sentinel heroes dead and no Scourge heroes dead. So, absolute terrible stomp of the team fight, and at this point, that might be game, because 19 to 29, despite the Morphling's farm, I'm not sure if he can come back from being behind like this. He's probably only got one more chance. If they can't turn things around in the next team fight, they're toast. And as I mentioned before, Morphling was so close to his Manta. If he had had that Manta in that team fight, his team might have fared a bit better, and I just spilled all kinds of water on myself as I went to take a drink without looking where my cup was. Commentating and drinking do not mix, people. Well, only if you're a noob, like me. In any event. So yeah, it's really too bad for Morphling that he hadn't finished up his Manta style, and maybe it would have been a better idea for Sentinel just to back off and let the other team have Rosh, which on the surface sounds like a bad idea, but if they had known that the fight would have worked out the way it did, I'm sure that's what they would have chosen to do. Hindsight being 2020 and all, it might have been a better idea for them to just sit back and let Morphling finish up his Manta style, which he has now. And he's trying to kill the Venomancer, or at least hurt her a little bit, but not going to pick up a kill. Darkseer is just coming in for some more creep kills, probably going to vacuum onto himself in a second. As soon as the creeps get lower, or vacuum, no, he doesn't even need it. Slardar finally hits level 11. That's one thing actually, I won't check it right now, because it looks like there's a battle forming up over this mid-tier 2 tower. We'll see how this battle goes. Sentinel really needs it to turn in their favor. They absolutely, positively cannot lose another team fight like they lost the last one. They still have a chance, and because they have the Morphling, but their Morphling isn't a be-all, end-all. He can't do anything. He can only do so much, and I think Morphling, he'd be pushing it to come back from this deficit. They dig themselves in the hole any deeper, and Morphling won't be able to dig them out. So StarsBoba, the Sentinel, definitely in a lot of trouble. Stormseer raffles in, very aggressive play. Lucifer's in the back. Who's Lucifer doomed? Is he doomed the Witch Doctor? Great vacuum from the Darkseer. And Slardar gets a great ult off. Darkseer in a lot of trouble. Does he have the amplify damage? No, I guess he does. He's amplify damage. Stormseer does another zip in against Slardar. And he gets the Slardar, but he's going to get stunned in the second pass by his Vengeful Spirit. And he'd be Aegis though, so he might come back in and zip it and kill her. No, instead he's probably going to zip back. And they're pulling back with Venomancer's at no health. Lucifer's weak as well. They took the tier 2 tower. I'm sure they would have liked the tier 3 tower, but they definitely came out ahead in hero kills. And Furion picks off a kill with his ultimate. That is just cheating, Furion. Poor, I think that was Venomancer. Let me check real quick. Yeah, poor Venomancer was escaping at almost no health, and Furion said, "I don't think so, biatch," and he pressed his global ultimate. He pretended he was Zeus, and for a moment there, he was Zeus. And he ulted, and life was good. Now it's coming top to get a bit more farm on, because if he's going to finish this Oblivion staff anytime soon, he really needs to start farming up some creep waves. But Morphling wants those creep waves too. And I'm reading the chat, and it sounds like Doom has a Lincoln. Doom has Lincoln. So Doom, Lincoln's a very defensive item. I'm not sure if it's the best choice. Perhaps it is. But it's very tanky. He needs a mana regen from something or other. And, plate mail. That's what I was going to say. That instead of Lincoln, it might be better if he got an item that boosted his armor. Because Lucifer as a hero has abominably low armor. I just caught the tail end of Stormseer zipping in on Furion. So Stormseer fully capable of killing Furion. So yeah, now to use as plate mail, the Lincolns makes a lot more sense. Lucifer absolutely needs some armor in some form or another, or else, despite all his health, his effective hit points are really quite low. Oh my gosh! Darkseer just used his zip thing to get in. Stormseer is being very aggressive. Probably too aggressive. We'll see if he can get away with it. He's stunned. One more hit, a zip out probably. No, I gotta say that was too aggressive on the Storm Spirit. There was no need for that sort of play. Just risking his life to try and get a Witch Doctor. Poor exchange. He really shouldn't have even tried it. Lucifer just last hitting everything, and he's probably going to get away with it too. Lucifer backing off, because despite being a beast, he can't take on the entire enemy team. That's more of a job for the Naga Sirens and Morphlings and Medusas of the world. Venomancer trying to push another tower, and I'm not seeing any Sentinel heroes moving in to defend it. Now that Lucifer's here, it'll probably die pretty quick if he starts right-clicking it. Furion's coming in with his summon creeps. They should give a bit of staying power. However, Lucifer's right-clicks are fairly powerful. You can just see the tower go down a little chunk every time he smacks it. Oh, but he backs off, being cautious. And that's the way that Storm Spirit should have been playing, being cautious. Because they definitely have the lead. And taking risks like that, definitely not necessary at all. So, Sentinel team has lost all 6 of their outer towers, whereas Scourge still has their 3 tier 2 towers. So that's a pretty big difference. That right there is 600 gold for the Scourge, plus the Rosh. So that's 800 gold for everyone on their team, plus the fact that they're so many hero kills ahead. At this point in the game, Scourge almost has this all wrapped up. They just need to make their decisive push to win. However, if they screw it up, the Morphling could come back in a counter push. Although that's not very likely. It's possible though, still possible. I just wouldn't bet on it. So this Morphling, a bit of a disappointment. Despite getting a lot of free farm early, in the mid game, not so much successful. He probably should have been a bit more present. I'm not sure what his critical flaw was. We'll say it's this ultimate orb. We'll blame it all on this ultimate orb. It's all that ultimate orb's fault. In any event, Furion, oh, he's getting closer. He almost is Orchid now, although Orchid's great against Storm Spirit, certainly, but I'm not sure the Orchid can turn this game around, even if they do finish it off, although he's quite close, and looks like there is a battle going on, perhaps down here. The tower's going to fall any second now. Morphling trying to deny it, no such luck. Storm Spirit zips in, and Witch Doctor in some serious trouble. Witch Doctor is snared. Venomancer gets his ult off, hitting a lot of people, including Furion, including Slardar. This game is pretty much over. Scourge has won the game. Lucifer is just diving. Meanwhile, they can take this tower down in a second, probably. This tower going to fall down any second now. And after the Raxus fall and maybe some more heroes die, the GG will probably go out. Look at Doom tanking the Morphling hits. Morphling hardly does any damage at all to Doom because of his armor and his high health. Storm Spirit zips in for a kill on Slardar. And a kill on Slardar they get. And now Morphling zips out. And they don't have the heroes alive to defend this lane. They're just marching in one by one and dying. And even if they could defend it, they couldn't turn the game around. And the referees are calling the GG. Well, we'll see if Sentinel calls the GG. And Vacuum packing, and Witch Doctor at low health, and Furion at low health. And they found him farming going on. Venomancer against Morphling. Venomancer can't win that fight. You better get back, Venomancer. Morphling might kill you out of spite. I had been hoping to finish this up in this part of the commentary, however, I'm probably going to have to make one more little part to upload to YouTube for the endgame analysis. And I'll break it into a piece right now.